and welcome back to SP Learning Labs. And today we are at the final module of this entire DSA journey. Till now, you have been learning how to solve problems efficiently, how to optimize them, how to use data structures, and how to handle massive systems. But today we step into something deeper. Not how to solve problems, but which problems can even be solved efficiently. Previous video recap. In the last video, you learned streaming algorithms, where you accepted small errors to handle massive data efficiently. Now, we go one level higher. Instead of asking how to solve faster, we ask, is this problem even solvable efficiently at all? Hook. Let me tell you something fascinating. For decades, computer scientists have been trying to answer one question. If a solution can be verified quickly, can it also be found quickly? This is the famous P versus NP problem, and solving it comes with a $1 million prize. But more importantly, it changes everything we know about computation. Why do we even need this? Now think about this carefully. You might spend hours trying to optimize a problem, but what if that problem is inherently hard? What if no matter what you do, it cannot be solved efficiently? That realization saves you time, effort, and frustration. And that is why complexity theory matters. Concept 1. P. Efficiently solvable problems. Let's start simple. P represents problems that can be solved efficiently in polynomial time. Now think of problems like sorting, searching, shortest path. These are all problems where as input grows, the time increases reasonably. So these are considered easy in computer science terms. Now let's move to something slightly different. NP. Efficiently verifiable problems. Now NP does not mean not polynomial. It means problems where if someone gives you a solution, you can verify it quickly. Now think about Sudoku. Finding a solution might be hard, but if someone gives you a completed grid, checking if it is correct is very fast. That is NP. Now here comes the important part. NP, complete, the hardest problems in NP. Now, some problems are so powerful that if you can solve one of them efficiently, you can solve all NP problems efficiently. These are called NP complete problems. Now think about problems like 3-SAT or traveling salesman. They are like core difficulty of computation. If one fails, all falls. Now let's go even beyond. NP hard, even beyond verification. Now NP hard problems are at least as hard as NP complete, but they might not even be verifiable quickly. Now think about this. Some problems are so complex that even checking a solution is not easy. That is why they go beyond NP. Now the big question. P versus NP. The $1 million question. Now here is the main question. Is P equal to NP? Which means, can every problem that can be verified quickly also be solved quickly? Right now, we don't know the answer. But most experts believe that P is not equal to NP. Because if P equals NP, many hard problems suddenly become easy. Now how do we prove problems are hard? Reduction. Proving hardness. Instead of solving a problem directly, we compare it with another known hard problem. If we can transform a known hard problem into our problem, then our problem is also hard. Now think of it like this. If solving your problem can solve another known difficult problem, then your problem must also be difficult. Now let's move beyond NP. Beyond NP. Some problems require even more resources like memory or exponential time. These belong to classes like PSPACE and exponential time. Now these are the problems where even verification or exploration becomes very expensive. Now the most important practical takeaway. Real world thinking. What to do with hard problems. Now here is what actually matters. If a problem is NP hard, you stop trying to find a perfect solution. Instead, you use approximation, heuristics, or special cases. Now think about real systems. Google Maps does not find the perfect route every time. It finds a very good route quickly. That is the mindset shift. Now, one more important idea. Parameterized complexity. Sometimes problems are hard in general, but easy when certain parameters are small. So instead of solving the general problem, we focus on constraints where it becomes manageable. Let's recap. So today, what you learned is this. Not all problems are meant to be solved efficiently. Some are easy, some are verifiable, some are extremely hard, and knowing this helps you choose the right approach. Interview questions. What is the difference between P and NP? What does NP complete mean? What is the difference between NP hard and NP complete? What is polynomial reduction and why is it important? Why is P versus NP considered the biggest open problem? How does NP hardness affect algorithm design? Now it's your turn. Think about problems like traveling, salesman or Sudoku. Try to ask yourself, why is solving them hard but verifying them is easy? What would change if P equals NP? How would that affect cryptography or security? Don't just think, try to explain it in your own words. Try to connect concepts. Post your answers in the comments. I'll help you improve. And with this, you have completed the entire data structures from basic thinking to advanced data structures, to real-world systems, and to the limits of computation itself. Now, this is not the end. This is where real problem solving begins. If you want data structures with Java or any other language, please let us know in the comments. If you stayed till here, you didn't just learn data structures. You learned how to think like an engineer. Like, share and subscribe to SP Learning Labs. I'll see you in your next journey.